This is Starships and Steel. Stay tuned to find out what's happening this week. Welcome back. This is another episode of Starships and Steel. We're here to drink some beer and talk about what's going on this week on the internet in the world of games. The big news this week, of course, is the Bones Kickstarter. I'm going to do a bit on the end about that and how it fits into maybe your Swords and Sorcery / Conan game. We're going to drink some beer. This is a False Creek Raspberry Ale from Granville Island Brewing Company. It's got a little bit of a red tinge to it, I can see already. It's an interesting color. There we go. A little amber red there for you. 4.5% alcohol. Crisp raspberry finish pairs with summer salads. Bold pink color, it says. I don't know about that, but definitely got some red. Good raspberry flavor. We'll give her 4 steins out of 5. So the other thing that I picked up this week was some paper miniatures. Sometimes I can't get enough miniatures for Conan to fight in my campaign. So you got these. They're called Beasts and Barbarians. Nandals and Cultists. You got some like Neanderthal type guys, some savages, and then some cultist kind of guys in the bottom. These are available on Drive-Thru RPG. They're fairly inexpensive. They're from Oakham Arts Games. I will, of course, leave a link in the description below so you guys can take a look at those and see if you're interested in them. He's got a whole bunch of stuff, not just Swords and Sorcery stuff. He's got all kinds of stuff. Drink some more beer. And we'll go on to talk about the Bones Kickstarter. I think the last time I looked it was just under $800,000. Made a lot of stretch goals already. If you're not a fan of Bones, then this probably won't be of interest to you. However, if you are a fan of Bones, and I am generally, they have their issues, but in general I think they're a cool, inexpensive figure. So it's got a bunch of cool stuff in it. Most of it will be useful in a high fantasy setting, but not everything is useful maybe in a low fantasy setting where you don't have goblins and kobolds and orcs and that kind of thing running around. However, if you do play other skirmish games like Song of Blades and Heroes, you're going to be able to build a pretty cool goblin warband out of this set as well. The base set's about $100 and you get a lot of figures right now. And when I go in and talk about the actual Kickstarter and the figures, I'll give you all those numbers and how many figures there are right now, what the price per figure is in American dollars, I guess. So that's all I got besides that. So we're going to just cut away and we're going to put the Kickstarter on the screen and we're going to go through the figures and I'm going to tell you what I think of each one of them and whether they're useful or not. So stay tuned for that. Enjoy your beer and get ready for a wild Bones ride.
Okay, Bones 4. $100 for the core set. Let's take a look at it. So we got these figures at the top. We got some female fighters. Definitely work for your Conan game. Over to the right, we've got a dancing girl. Definitely going to work for your Conan game. Next one, same thing. Not sure what the side thing there is, but maybe a tomb, but cut it off if you needed to. This guy looks like a half orc, so less good for your Conan game, but got a couple good ones there. Got a big beefy fighter. That's definitely going to work for your Conan or Sword and Sorcery type game. This could be some kind of mutant sorceress beast. You could use that. Dragon, probably not going to work in my personal campaign, but still pretty cool. Over here we got some more female fighters. Pretty good. That'll work. Elf, could probably make it work. Not the best one for it, but not bad. Halfling, that one works less well. I'm just going to skip that one. Basic Wizard, you could use that for your sorcery. Not a big deal. That's probably not going to work very good for your Sword and Sorcery type games, but could be a Sorceress Mutant. That guy will work though. He's pretty cool. Big horns on his helmet. Kicking some ass. Another female. She'd work for your Sword and Sorcery game. Pretty much any of the humans on here are going to work pretty good. A couple guards. Looking good. They'll definitely be helpful. Dragonborn. Not so good. Not going to work. Got a pig in a cart. Probably be working pretty good. Not bad. Could use that. What else we got? Another fighter with a sword and shield. Definitely use him. He'd fit in there pretty good. 24 bonus goblins. Well, good for a skirmish unit. Not so good for sword and sorcery. But hey, they're pretty cool. Wizards, all kinds of wizards. You got one with a dragon familiar. Probably not going to be as awesome as some of the other ones. They got some kind of stereotypical ones in there, archetypical. They work okay. Then we got some town folk. They'll work for, everything. They're town folk. Everyone needs town folk. Can never have too many of them. There's lots of people in a town. So they got 4 or 5 here. Clergymen, women, cooking, that kind of stuff. Then we got some more fighters. These are kind of generic fighters, big axes. They're definitely going to fit into a sword and sorcery type world. So definitely use those for your Conan campaign. Monsters. Alligator, boar, and a giant crab. Could definitely fit those in. No problem there. Some armored goblins. Good for your skirmish unit if you're building that. That guy's pretty cool. Not so good for your Conan game, but I can definitely find a use for them still. We got some minotaurs, they're called, so they're like miniature minotaurs. They're pretty cool, but again, not really going to fit into your Conan game, but you could maybe figure it out if you wanted to. I don't know. And we got some demons. I mean, maybe some demons from the Utter Dark. They're not very Utter Dark-esque in my opinion, but you could use them if you wanted to. They're pretty cool. They look neat. Yeah. So, pretty cool. And then finally we got the last one we just unlocked, kobolds. Again, you can make a little unit out of them, but they're not really going to work in Conan. So, that's who we are. So that gives you an idea of the figures, and like 50-50 maybe of them are going to work in Conan. Some are, some aren't. And we'll just do a little quick count here. So I count about 32 figures that would work really well in the Sword and Sorcery campaign, which is going to work out to be $3.20 a figure right now. So it's not super good right now for Sword and Sorcery only campaign. But if you wanted to do Sword and Sorcery, or if you played in a high fantasy campaign and you wanted to run a skirmish as well with your Sword and Sorcery, like if you played again Song of Blades and Heroes, great game. That one, I mean, that's going to give you really good value for your money. And by the time we're done this Kickstarter, we might be there already. Like $3.20 per figure is a little bit pricey, but I think we're going to get some more cool figures, and I think it's going to be well worth the amount of money you're paying for that. So I would say take a look at it, put your bid down now, see how it goes, and support the Kickstarter if you're into bones and you need a bunch of new figures. Alright, well, that's pretty much my video this week, so that's what's going on. We got the Bones Kickstarter, some paper miniatures I picked up, and if you found this useful, hit like. And if you want to see more of my videos, including crafting and other What's Up videos, don't forget to subscribe to my channel. You guys have a great day.